More than a that, more than a that.
Welcome to More Than That podcast. I'm your host, Lou. I'm joined by the coolest guy on earth, Dre Moore.
What's good, y'all?
Man, we want to shout out Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Shout out to Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Wherever the hell that is.
Hey, I don't know where that is, bro.
We appreciate y'all, in the downloads, and we are the Philadelphia Dad Pod, man.
Absolutely.
We got a Fast Five here for Dre. Is it for me? It's for you.
It's for me. I can take it.
We're going to do epic sports moments. You ready?
Yeah.
Sixers versus the Lakers in the 0-1 finals, or the Eagles lost in the Super Bowl versus the Patriots in 0-4.
Probably the Sixers. The Sixers. Oh, we won a game.
We won a game.
We did win a game.
It's such the AI over Tyloo, stepping over Tyloo.
Yeah.
It's such an epic moment from that NBA
Right.
Finals. I don't know in particular what about that Super Bowl was epic.
I mean, T.O.
T.O. had the monster game, and he played on
the broke ankle with the screws in his joint.
And your man Donovan McNabb throwing up in the huddle.
Yeah, Willie beaming.
All right, Phillies World Series win, or the Eagles win the Super Bowl?
Eagles Super Bowl, for sure.
The Eagles Super Bowl?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's Philly special?
Yeah.
That was a moment.
Yeah, Eagles Super Bowl was different.
And not to mention that it was against the Patriots.
Again, yeah,
Revenge Super Bowl for us. All right, LeBron game winner versus the Magics, or Vince Young game winning run against USC. So you do college versus NBA.
I think the Vince Young run.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Texas Longhorns?
Yeah, the Longhorns, man.
Yeah, I used to
be able to put out Reggie Bush in them.
Yeah.
That joint was kind of crazy.
I don't know if people look at that as iconic as LeBron game winners, though.
I don't know how not. That made his career. That's probably the biggest moment in Vince Young's career.
It's his college national championship.
Yes, absolutely. And he was skirting for the Heisman. Well, Reggie probably deserved the Heisman, but he was a finalist for the Heisman. It was him, Reggie, Matt Leinart, and then he played them in the national championship.
I'm not sure if he didn't win that one.
He didn't.
He didn't?
That's the one they took from Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
They need to give it back, though. They do, man.
No, I'm going with LeBron, bro.
Oh, with Brian.
Just because because you got to think about once you become pro and then you do it on the pro stage versus doing it on the college stage, his pro career wasn't like Brian.
Yeah, true.
The Cavs come back from down 3-1, or the Warriors beating the Mavs as the 8th seed.
Cavs 3-1.
Yeah, Cavs.
Finals, yeah.
That was easy.
Cavs 3-1 in the finals.
All right, Deshaun Jackson punt return against the Giants, game winner. Was that a game winner?
Yeah, it was a game ender.
Game ender, or a Shouting Brown hit on Reggie Bush.
I'm probably going to go D-Jack. And like, it's rare that you see a game end like that, and just like the whole moment, like Tom Coughlin telling the punter, like, don't punt it to Deshaun, and him punting it, and like unintentionally punting it to Deshaun, because if you remember, like, it didn't really go to him. He picked it up off the hop and then like found the crease and was gone. And then Tom Coughlin immediately coming onto the field and grabbing the punter after it happened is like crazy.
Yeah, he probably ain't get another job after that, bro.
Yeah, like,
you can't even follow. It would have been better if you just punted it out of bounds.
Right, that's a fact.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's get into it. This is More Than a Dad. How's dad life?
How's dad life for you? You're going to have to start.
Oh, man. The weather's breaking, so, me and Manny been growing our vegetables and stuff down in the basement under grow lights and the seed trees. And shout out Vic. Estrada.
Right. Come over, hold you down.
He came through and blessed us with this beautiful raised bed. It's like 8 by 3, and then 2 to 3 feet tall.
True, true.
So he painted it, put it all together, and it was at the worst time. I was away, splitting time between the hospital and home and stuff, and he just was coming over, just knocking it out like a couple days, wrapped it for me so the squirrels and birds can't get into it and all that. So he really took care of us, man. We appreciate it. So the other day, me and Manny went and bought some extra, plants from Lowe's and added it to our garden with the ones we already was growing from the basement. So we got tomatoes, cucumber, squash, zucchini, green peppers,
We about to come shop at your house.
green beans. And I'll keep y'all updated on what actually grows because this is my first time doing this. But I love it because, like, he Daddy, we got to go water the garden. He's more, Manny be father this summer. So it's like he's
Right,
maturing
yeah,
and getting
yeah.
responsibility. Like, even when I sit down and, like, wash the dishes or when I cook, he like, yo, Dad, can I cook with you? Or I could wash the dishes, Daddy, while you cook. Like, he like, he
He
started.
like hands on with it.
Yeah, so his independence is starting to shine. You got kindergarten coming up. He about to graduate from preschool. Like, it's wild, man. I remember the first day I held him, man. It's like,
Yeah, that time. Listen, that time fly. That time definitely don't wait. Yeah, speaking of that thing, I'm like, Dre about to graduate from 8th grade. So, like, we're going to be on to the next chapter of high school and all of that. I still ain't really prepared for that. We still trying to go work the motions, man, and be on him. It's hard, like, trying to be on him and just keep him on task to, like, get him to understand, like, yo, you got to do this for you. Like, when it comes to, like, your schoolwork, it's still, like, tedious to, like, chase him around to, like, make sure, like, he's on top of his work. Like, you'll look up and it'll be, like, all these missed assignments and all this stuff. But, like, you don't, you want to go to certain schools and do things, and those schools cost money. You gotta, like, apply yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, like, when you talk about, like, trying to get, like, some scholarship money or some stuff like that. Like, your grades is indicative of all of that. Like, so it's still, like, a thing of, like, explaining to them, like, if you want to do these things, you got to put the work in. It don't really, it don't just fall out the sky, for real, to be honest.
right.
So,
No, man, I want to get your thoughts on something, man. So I seen this thing on Instagram the other day. It was like a social experiment where a man was asking parents at playgrounds, like, yo, you mind if I try to, like, basically do, like, a stranger test with your kid and see if your kid passed or failed the stranger test.
but, yeah.
So it was a white guy. She came up to the parents, like the moms and stuff, like, hey, which one is your kid? Do you mind if I go talk to him and see if I could lure them away so we could start practicing, better
It's like
measures?
stranger danger.
Yeah, stranger danger. So basically, everybody and their kids failed this social experiment because he was luring them away with puppies. So he was like coming up to them like, hey, and they was like, oh, nice dog, it's a cute dog. And all he said was, hey, you want to go see my other puppies? And all the kids went with the stranger. It just spoke to, like, kids not being able to apply what we teach them about strangers in theory to, like, real life.
Right.
Like, it's the same thing. It's like, hey, you want a taffy? Well, I got more candy over here. You want to come get it? Oh,
Right.
here go ice cream. Oh, I got a lot of ice cream in my house. You want to come inside my house?
Right.
And it just, like, it throw them off. It's like they don't equate that to what's happening to them. Like, that's the time
Right,
when you should be like, no,
yeah.
I'm good off ice cream. No, I want to see your puppies.
Right.
Let me go ask my mom first. You know what I mean? And I just want to know your thoughts on, like, that experiment and that results.
I mean, it's funny because, like, it just made me think of, like, my kid, I'm sure, like, you probably could get asked if you got snacks. like it's I would have to see him in a setting to see, but, like, in my mind, I feel like, he might go for it.
Yeah.
Cause, like, like, you're a kid, you kind of like, oh, I see snacks, I want snacks. I think it's a good test to see. I mean, it just makes you have to have more conversations with your kids. But I guess, like, it depends on the age, because, like, I feel like at a certain age, they don't even really, like, grasp it.
Right.
Like, I know as they get older, like they understand like stranger danger and this and that. But like, if you talking about like 3, 4, 5 year old, like I don't think they even think about it. Like even if you having the conversation, like I don't even think like a second thought goes into like maybe I shouldn't go over there.
So like I was just thinking about this because my wife is very like precautious and stuff, and we have these conversations. Like, but I remember going to James Alcorn, which was probably 1 block from my house, elementary school, and I remember by first grade or second grade, I was walking home, and my dad was just waiting at a corner for me to walk up,
Right.
and then sooner or later he wasn't at the corner by like fourth grade.
Right.
So I would just walk all the way home, and he would be like on the porch chilling, asleep or something,
Right.
killing flies or something, that.
Right.
But nowadays, they snatching kids. It's not even you hear kids get lower. It's like car pulled up beside them, took your kid in 2.5 seconds and pulled
Right.
off,
And
never
drove
seen your
off.
kid again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, we don't even live in a society of like the trust that we was earning to like walk home or catch the bus across town to school or to practice, and like it make parenting harder because there's no trust to like send your kid into the world and they're not bothered by other kids. They're not kidnapped. They're not trafficked. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
It's no
definitely.
trust. It's like you have to. There is no like preparing them to like walk home from school by themselves. Like my dad was standing on the corner 1 block away. If I lived 4 blocks away, was he still going to be standing on the corner? Was he going to meet me halfway?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what if he was ill? What if he had work? My dad was retired. Imagine if both parents is gone.
Right. Now you just gotta walk here.
Now you just got, and that's the situation that, like, house to house is going to be different. I see kids when I drive through Chester or when I drive through these places. Like, I'm big. I'm 6'2", 3 something.
Right.
If I wanted to jump out and snatch a kid, I could.
That's
If I wanted to jump out and snatch a grown person, I could. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So like, and I be seeing kids like walking solo, young girls, little boys, thin boys. Like, the kid would be going. You know?
Yeah, it's a fact. I mean, you got. Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? So,
Like like I don't, it's just it is. It's just the day and age we live in is so much different. When we was doing it, it was like not that kids wasn't getting snatched and stuff when we was like smaller, but like I don't think it was like as like frequent. And I think it was just more sense of a community, so you kind of had like more of a trust, and then like everybody kind of know everybody, so like it's like that's a big difference too. Like you got to think like most times when we grew up, like we've lived in these areas the entire time.
right.
So like I think like our parents and grandparents and them were a lot more stationary than like we are. Like we kind of like we don't. I wouldn't say we move a lot, but we just live in places where like we never lived, we never been. So it's like you kind of isolated. So that's a part of it too. Like when you like like oh Miss Gladys or Miss whoever's up the block, like I know like if they see my kid, they gonna look out for my kid, or like this person lives around the corner. I've lived in this neighborhood for 10, 15 plus years. Now we like you become like people move to like the other side of the city in places they never lived before. Like just don't know nobody, don't even go outside, like don't know nobody, and then like now your kids come home in this place. So like it's a lot of different variables that go into it. So like I think, but it's still requires like a level of preparation because you don't really want to have your kids too sheltered from the world. Like I feel like we grew up knowing how to maneuver and move in situations because we was in them situations. Like we knew how to move around. Like you knew how to get from this point to this point. Like even like with like Lou Dre, he 14. Like I don't know like for sure like if I could just put him on a bus and tell him go here. But I remember like like us being 12, 13 for like we get on the bus, we go to the movies on 69th Street, or we go down Columbus Boulevard, go to the movies, or like just me and like my cousins, or like like or whoever we was with, like we was moving around and stuff. Like I was 13 when I got to high school. I was going downtown to high school every day. So like I was getting on the bus, getting on the L, and going downtown underground as a 13-year-old. So it's like that's just how we learn. And I don't even know if it was like a thought to my parents, like, yo, you might get snatched. Like like you talking about like an hour plus commute to school every day,
Mm-hmm.
like one way. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think it ever crossed their mind like, yo, he gonna get snatched today.
What they say, it's a blessing to like leave out the house and come home every day.
Yeah.
Counting the blessings every
And
day.
now, right, and now it's like I couldn't even imagine doing it today. That's how crazy it was. Like I wouldn't say like, and maybe it's just the kid in me, but like I had no fear going to school. Like I had like going downtown. For one, like downtown in your mind is like ultra safe, and then, not now, but then it was like, oh, it's just going downtown is ultra safe. Like I never had no thought in my mind like something bad would happen on the way to school ever.
Right.
But now today, like I think like I don't even know if I would feel that way. Like getting on the bus and going downtown, like not even that, going underground and going downtown. Like the kids is down there, they jumping the SEPTA employees and real rap. Like they, like it's people running around with guns and like these kids getting shot. They getting shot on the platform. Like that stuff wasn't happening.
Right.
So like I don't even know like. It's just a different time, bro. So like you definitely gotta have the conversations with your kids. But as far as like the experiment, depending on like I said, I think it's really just about like the age of the kids. Like, cause like I know right now, like Ash being like 5, like somebody pour some cookies or something out, he probably gonna go with cuz
Right.
for the cookies, bro, for sure.
You
He
know,
ain't turning down those snacks.
I was watching something else just to pivot this part right here. Is they were saying like how in New York, I think somebody recently got choked out on the subway or something.
Right.
By like an ex-Marine, and like people just recorded it and didn't do anything. I don't even think dude was law enforcement. I think it just was the guy was having a mental health episode and somebody put him in a sleeper and killed him. Right.
Oh, man.
So, and they were saying like New York is like the place where like this is the code of ethics. It's like, you know, just mind your business. Like, you know, like
Right.
everybody is in passing. Everybody's rushing to get to where they got to go. Nobody's going to intervene.
Right.
And I correlated to a post I seen on Facebook, and it was like, yo, a lot of kids are in the grave because we're not allowed to say something to the parents about their kids. And I just took that as deep because we don't allow from outside intervention on your kids. And then you compare that to like the neighborhood of like Miss Rachel and them come tell Miss Jeanette and them to come
Right.
tell my dad when I was acting up in the street.
Right.
And like, you need to watch your kid, he out here doing this. But if you say that to another parent today, it's like you criticizing them or like mind your business. And it's like,
Right. Yeah.
you know, and it's like the post was real eerie of like, there's probably a lot of kids that were doing reckless things that somebody seen but didn't feel comfortable saying something to the parent, or if they did tell the parent, it became a back and forth between adults when it's like, yo, this is in the best interest of your kid.
Absolutely.
You know, so I don't know. It's just these different points. I think they all touch each other. You know what I mean? Like on my street, like it was just like a somewhat of a village, and people felt comfortable coming to my dad and saying, Lou around here fighting. Or
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it was just the community was different. Community is different.
now the community is kind of like you wouldn't dare say what you seen.
Yeah, true. And then it's just like it says a different generation. So like you got people who move into the community. Like now it's not really like a community. Like if you think like even just think about like you growing up and think about like the families that was on your street, and then think about like if they all still there.
Right. They're not.
Right. So now you got a whole. Then the new people that move in, they don't have the same. They didn't grow up there. So like I said, a lot of people just go in and out their house.
Right.
They're not really getting tapped in with like the neighborhood or the street or the neighbors or anything. They just in and out the house.
I think society promotes that.
Probably.
You know. But I want to get to this topic. This is another sad topic. Sorry to sad out the pod today. See if we can find some laughs. But there was an infant that drowned in a bathtub as the mom was cooking, and she had left her teenage daughter responsible for bathing the infant in the tub. And Come to find out, the teenager left the baby in the tub and went in the room and started playing on her laptop, and the baby drowned.
Oh, man.
So I just thought about this, like how often are we comfortable leaving an older sibling to do a task and to watch our kids, and like how does that make you look as a parent when an incident looks like this? It was the mom being lazy. Had the baby? Had she ever bathed the baby before? If she did you monitor her and train her on the importance of this? Like, how did this happen? Because as a dad, I'm like, yo, how did the baby drown? You're trying to do two things at once. You overwhelmed from your day, blah, blah, blah. Dinner could wait or the bath could wait if you had to do it yourself.
Right.
Instead of trying to do two things at once and then delegate it to your 14-year-old daughter who don't know that this 4-month-old baby can't sit up.
Right. Yeah, that's different. I mean, I guess it would depend on the level of maturity and responsibility in the older kid. Because I understand it. Like sometimes you had things that like especially like if you doing a lot and you got stuff that you doing. Like I don't know like the whole logistics of her household or what she had going on, like what type of help she had. But if she's trying to like prepare everything for the next day and like the kids got to eat and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So I can't really like I don't know if I really would condemn her for that because like Nadia watched Ashton. And she has watched him for a long time.
And what's the ages in that?
She been probably watching Ash since she was like, she 12 going on 13, maybe since like 10, 11, maybe since he was like 2, 3. He wasn't an infant, but like she run his water and put him in the bath, wash him up, and take him out and get like when her mom asked her to do it, like if her mom got stuff going on, like now they'll go wash him. She don't leave him in there or nothing.
Right.
But she's also very responsible. So like I don't really like I said, it depends on the level of maturity and I guess probably the age of the baby too. I mean Nadia never watched him at like 4 months, but when he got like older, like he was at least walking when she started like watching him sometimes, and like I never even thought about like something bad happening to him.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be super sad, guys. It doesn't have to be fatal. Like, hey, he fell and he got this huge gash.
I mean,
his
right?
forehead.
It just depends on the responsibility. Like I wouldn't leave Ashton home by herself with Lou and Dre.
And he's older.
He's older, but he's not responsible. He's not gonna pay attention to him. Like one day, we was in the house and Ash was, I can't even think about what he was. This when we had the fish tank, and I don't know if something went in the fish tank or he was trying to like mess with the fish in the fish tank, but he had like climbed up. He was trying to get in the fish tank, and I'm hearing all of this like stuff like moving, like banging, and they was like in the living room together, and I'm hearing all this stuff, and I come in the living room. Dre is literally sitting like probably the distance that we sitting from each other. Like you Ash on the fish tank, trying to get in the fish tank, and Dre is sitting like where I'm sitting, but he's like on his phone. And like I'm like, yo, you don't see him doing this? Like, oh no, I didn't see him. But like he's that engulfed in his phone. Like your brother's right. I know you hear the noise because I hear the noise, and I wasn't in the living room. I came from the other room, and I could hear the noise of it rocking. Mm-hmm. I could hear something rocking. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I come out, and he's like on the fish tank. Like, yo, you don't see him doing this? Like, and it's just like, oh, I didn't see it.
You know that remind me of people being at work and like when something is happening that like can really hurt the job or whatever. But people have this mindset of like, I don't see it. It's not my job to see it. It's not my job to be. That's not what I'm supposed to be monitoring.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm like, yo, you don't even like. But that's how much like his lack of like paying attention, like his attention to detail. So like, you got to know your kid and understand your kid. Like if your kid is like prone to going to like watching the laptop and all of that, like I don't really know if I could ask you to do that.
And you know what's so sad about infant drowning? It probably ain't no struggle. It ain't no noise.
Right.
It's not gonna be like you heard the fish tank rocking. The fish tank weighed with water in it probably weigh 50 pounds, and it could really crush a 3-year-old Ash, right?
Right.
And hurt him, maybe not kill him, but hurt him.
Right.
And you can hear that ruckus. An infant going under in the bathtub, on top of running water, on top of you down there
Right.
cooking with the grease popping and the vent going.
Yeah.
And you would never have heard it. The baby, you know what I mean? You would have never have heard that upstairs.
Yeah, make no noise.
I can't hear when I'm cooking. I can't hear what they doing in 2 rooms over in the living room.
Right.
Like I just can't hear. It's the fans to the vents. You know,
Yeah, the fans get to going and all of that.
yeah, you can't. And then shh. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's over. That shit noise canceling.
Yeah, it's crazy because like, right? Because how much? It depend on the infant. Like, how much of a movement can you even create? Can you even create enough movement to even potentially hear it?
But imagine coming home from work, like, or maybe getting that call at work, like, yo, babe, you know, I'm so sorry. The other baby was watching the baby, and the baby drowned in the tub. And it's like, you went to work today.
Yeah.
You know, you went to work today thinking everything was normal. This is not even a daily fear of yours. Like, this is not
Right.
even a daily concern
That you even think something like that's gonna happen.
that could happen. But, you know, and it speaks to, you know, how much there is to do as a parent, and like you say, job never done. But sometimes we gotta assess that better, and sometimes we just
Right.
like to suck it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta figure out. I mean, like I said, you know your kids. Like your kid, especially like at that age, as a teenager, like you know your kid well enough to know like what tasks I can entrust you with and what I can't entrust you with.
Yeah. I don't know the exact ages of the infant or the teenage daughter, but this is a real story.
Yeah, I dare figure it out.
Let's touch on this real quick. I was watching Joe Budden podcast, and this was a conversation. Is it ever okay as a father? Is it ever okay as a father to not bang with your kids or to like your kids? Even as a parent, like, is it ever acceptable? Like, all right, my kid is 24, I'm 50, and I don't like my son, or like, is it ever okay to?
I mean, if I don't like you, I don't like you, bro. Like what? I can't. Like, yeah, I could unlike you. Like, I gotta like you because you my kid.
I'm asking, like, would that make you a bad pop?
No, because at 20 something, at this point I already done raised you, and like I'm not, like I can be there for you and dislike you. Like I don't gotta like. Are you talking like disown, abandon, or are we talking about dislike? Because like disown, abandon is two different,
All
and
right,
dislike is two different
in
things.
the context of this part of what they were talking about was he don't bang with his kids, so he's abandoning them, or he don't do anything. They're grown. And my thing is, if you didn't like your kid, right, and they're grown, the mature thing would be to like try to mend it, right?
What if it's not no mending though? What
And
if they keep cooking you?
all right, is that okay though? Like, is that like
Yeah, if they
in
keep
society,
burning me out, yes. If they keep like cooking me, then yeah.
like as another dad, and you looked at that situation and like, damn, like he don't bang with his son. Do you feel like, damn, he a bad dad?
It
'cause of
depends
that?
on what he do. Like if I don't really.
And I'm sure this is more common. I'm sure this
It
is way more
depends on
common.
it depends on what happens, cause you know like family is like a tricky thing, bro. Like I say it all the time. Like family will do things to you that strangers wouldn't do to you, just because they feel like because we family, like I won't hurt you, or I won't do something to you. So like they'll cross the line, and depending on what lines you might have crossed, like I could opt to not bang with you. Like what if you steal out my house?
Is that a lifetime sentence of you not liking your kid though?
What if you repeatedly steal from me? What if you're a habitual stealer? Chronic stealing. What if you just into stuff I'm just not into?
How about the Jerry Springer type of stuff? Like, what if like what if your kid mess with their stepmom and like he steal your girl or something? You know what I mean? Like, 'cause that stuff happens too,
bro,
right?
it's
And
listen,
is that terms that like not bang with your kid? Like, damn, you girl out of all. Damn, I spent. you
Crazy.
My bad, y'all. My bad. I'm bringing it back in. You know, you
Better
slept.
bleep that.
Definitely believe that. You smashed that girl, and
Yeah,
and you
it was
know
done.
the
Bro,
relationship done.
everybody, but all relationships are done. The girl and him. We fried, bro.
And as looking at another man, is that okay to be like? I understand where you're coming from with that. Like
Yeah,
I
yo,
wouldn't bang with it
listen,
neither,
man. If somebody violates you, I cannot mess with you.
even if they came from your sack.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah, bro. It's no exception to the rule.
oh man, all right.
What if your kid start punching on you one day?
So if you get into a rumble with your son,
What if he treats you? Because if you treat him, then y'all still probably be cool. What if he treats you?
he's talking about some male ego stuff.
Because if you treat him, then like y'all still gonna be cool. He might not be cool with you.
But is that terms to like not be a
Yeah,
good
because why would
father?
you cause me bodily harm? Why would you inflict bodily harm to me?
Well, you've been inflicted bodily harm to him the whole time.
Nah, yo, nah. It's grounds to not mess with your kids, yo.
It is.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
I hope to never walk that line because you know I hold grudges good.
We
bro.
hope it never happened. I'm just saying, I'm not condemning somebody for that.
All right, because I was thinking I was thinking more than like
Like it's petty.
yeah, like it's your kid, man. Like you get
Nah.
one kid, you get one father, you get one
Well, we
mom.
make new kids.
Brian McKnight. And, on that, man. Yo, we appreciate y'all checking out
Appreciate
this.
y'all for tuning in.
We appreciate y'all for checking us out and supporting us and everything.
Absolutely.
Yo, until next time.
Until next time, yeah.
Join the More Than a Dad family by following us on Instagram, subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to join our Facebook group for daily questions, motivation, dad jokes, and new dad tips. If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Be sure to like, comment, and share our content with other parents. Last but not least, make sure you check out our new merch. The link is in the bio of our Instagram as well as the description of this YouTube video. We are truly grateful and thanks for supporting More Than a Dad.
More than a dot, more than a dot.